Alright, you guys, so we are going to be starting our Impressionism project. Impressionism took place in the 19th century, and it was really the time when artists started to refresh their ideas. We went from really realistic drawings and paintings to now something that looks as if you don't have your glasses on as you look at the piece. So the paint lines are quicker, they are more blurry. It's really hard to see a lot of the small fine details on people or in a landscape. But there's something really elegant about Impressionism painting, and that's the fact that Impressionism painting aims to capture light and movement. And so throughout this project, you will only get one day to complete each of these paintings. They're going to be done in sections at a time. And your very first section is going to be done using primary colors, which are yellow, red, and blue. And then you can add your neutrals, black and white. Now I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to see how this is going to be done and how quickly it usually takes place. So to begin, I'm going to take my blue. Now for you guys, you're actually going to be looking into the city of Grand Rapids, and you will choose your location of where you want to paint, okay? You're going to be painting on a window, and so you are going to be forced to be a little bit more observant. So you'll get a small brush and your primary colors on a palette, and once you get started, you really got to start going quickly. So I'm just going to do some brush strokes to fill up the space on my paper. Now I am only concerned about showing movement. Impressionism painting is all about capturing that light before light changes. So I'm not really concerned about getting all those fine details. Now what you aren't seeing, I'm taking my brush and I'm putting it into the white just to start putting in some white brush strokes over top of this blue. And I might mix a little bit of red and blue together so I can get some purple in the sky. Now the other really fun thing about Impressionism painting is that you can actually layer all of these colors instead of pre-mixing everything. So in the past you might have had to mix up all your colors ahead of time. Here you don't have to. So in the beginning I laid down red and then I had just put a darker blue over top, and it had already mixed to purple for me. So in this style of painting, it's good to see those soft brush strokes. It does not need to be perfect blending. In fact, our eyes will do all this blending for us. Now because I'm just doing a quick demonstration so you all are able to work independently, I am going to just kind of make up the scene as I go. I have some water on my brush as well as some yellow paint, and I'm just going to throw that on. Now when you look into a field, you may only see yellow, but realistically, there's some brighter reds or warm colors up in your foreground, so the area closest to you. Turns into oranges. So you can see here I'm just being extremely sloppy with my brushwork, and that is totally fine, okay? All I'm trying to do here is capture the sunlight and the movement of this light before it disappears. So I might see some specks of a red-violet as it goes back into space. kind of looks like a ton of tissue paper pieces all layered over top of one another. This experience is meant to be that of an optical illusion in a sense for your viewer. So as we look at this quick painting here, it's not super clear what's going on. And that's why a lot of people during the time that Impressionism started, a lot of people really hated Impressionism. So you can imagine going from this hyper-realistic look to now something that was just messy and quick and sloppy and hard to read. A lot of people didn't like that. It's not neat, it's not clear. As I'm laying in the blue in my sky, I'm also starting to recognize certain areas in my landscape that you will have in front of you of where I might see this light blue color in these spaces below. By implementing those same light blue colors or light green areas in the space below, I'm helping my viewer's eye to move around my piece. Now, when we work with acrylic, it actually dries pretty quickly. So a lot of this muddiness that happens when you mix up a whole bunch of paint and it just looks nasty will actually start to fade away once you go over top of it. Now, these Impressionism paintings can be super detailed. Like, you could go in and get every single grain of wheat that's in this field, or every single piece of hay that's in a haystack. Or you can just blend all your colors together. But the main thing is, we need to be able to see all your brushwork. So this type of art style is all about the quick, light catching, and the brushwork. Now you all will get an opportunity to divide your cityscape scene up into 4 different layers or 4 different pieces. Try to be creative with that layout. Your very first section, I recommend it be your smallest because this is the day where you have less amount of time to work on this. But your smallest section is going to be done using just primary colors, which is what I used to make this small square here. During this time, your only expectation is to catch the fleeting light. Light changes so fast throughout the day. And so Impressionist artists really wanted to capture the light and the movement and the rush of everything that's going on around them. They wanted to tell the tales of everything that was going on right there in that given moment. For these, I'm not looking for perfection, okay? I am looking for you to at least give this technique a try. I know it can be intimidating. The great news about this technique, though, is that it's really hard to get it absolutely perfect, especially on your very first attempt. There's a lot of artists that do specialize in Impressionism painting, but that's not our goal here. Our only goal is for you to give this a try and try to find some sort of skill or technique that you can pull out of this experience. And maybe when you go back into your second attempt using a different color palette, you'll be more comfortable adding in these bright, bold colors and these quick gestural lines that tell this story. Okay? So here's one example of me using the primary colors to get my very first square done. When I go to add my next layer, wherever it may be set up, it is going to be done, it is going to be done using secondary colors, which are purple, green, and orange. So please prepare ahead of time.